My grandfather helped hide Jews during World War II. My grandfather was 10 years old and living in the Netherlands during World War II. His older brother was enlisted in the war and was taken as a prisoner of war only 3 years into the war. His other brother was arrested at a Czech stop and placed into a work camp. My grandfather recalled when the Germans first took control of Holland, they bombed Rotterdam as a show of power to try and stop any thoughts of rebellion. My grandfather lived on a farm near Rotterdam and he recalled hearing the explosions and seeing the city burn and smell the smoke in the air for days. My grandfather's family owned a grain farm. In one of the silos they built a false bottom and under it they hid Jewish refugees. As the German army still needed food, their farm was one of the few places that was not cut off of electricity. Because of this they were able to run electricity down below the silo so that the refugees could have light. When the Germans would come to inspect the farm or search for Jews, my grandfather would run to the edge of the silo and pee against the wall. As he was peeing he would talk down a small hole and tell the refugees the Germans were there. After Holland was occupied, the Germans placed explosives on the underside of bridges so that in case of an invasion they could cover their retreat. My grandfather was tasked with finding out where the fuse wires went so that in case of an invasion they could cut these cords and help the Allied army. My grandfather was chosen to do this as a 12-year-old boy is much less suspicious than an adult going around bridges. He was also often tasked with hiding fake passports and stolen food stamps at Czech stops as the soldiers were less likely to search children. I always knew that my grandfather lived in Holland during the German occupation, but I didn't know at all to the extent that they were involved in hiding Jews or any kind of underground resistance movement. It made World War II much more real to me knowing my own grandfather had lived through it.